This episode is proudly brought to you by the members of the You Run Podcast Network. All shows can be found at yourunpodcast.com. So go and find your new podcast addiction today.
You want to die tonight?
The dad jokes he tells sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. The passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled.
Oh my God. Lock the doors, we're on full quarantine!
Why does this keep happening to me?
Hello and welcome to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review, the show where you normally pick the movies and you picked the movie this week, but then one of us got ill and fell asleep and, well, you'll find out in a minute. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And today is our Halloween special and you all voted and it was almost unanimous for us to cover the Black Phone 2. So
Yay.
we're not doing that. I was due to go to the cinema, and after a lot of travelling, 4 hours sleep, a full day's work, I went and sat on the sofa for 10 minutes before I got changed to go, and then fell asleep, and then woke up today feeling really, really ill. So we done a last minute change at about 11 o'clock ish last night.
Pretty much, yeah. What do you want to do?
I was like,
as well, we had the option to pick something we've both watched fairly recently, which would eliminate any prep work. Instead, we picked something neither of us have seen.
Yeah, and then sat and watched it last night, prepped an episode today, and just rocked in. We are going to do the Black Phone 2. We're just going to move it to our Christmas schedule. I've seen snow in the trailer. It fits Christmas.
I think it'll be more fitting, and it's probably going to be more widely available then as well. I have two young children. I don't have the opportunity to go to cinema very often.
No, so we are going to do it. Apologies, but this is still going to be a good episode. Maybe. If you are new here, we're going to give you a brief overview of the movie, followed by a deep dive into what we liked, what we didn't like. There's normally interactive features and games. We haven't got any of those this week either. We have got a game that's ongoing, which we have some guesses. We also have a new feature, but it's not interactive, where me and Mark are going to shoot the shit over some cool stuff. So get comfy, pour yourself a drink, because today we take a dive into consumerism, costumes, trick-or-treating, and all the things of the Halloween season. An unknown cast fills many stories of urban legends, paranormal behavior, and weird shit that I simply cannot explain. For our Halloween special, we could have found out what John Carpenter's Halloween would have looked like if he kept it as an anthology instead of Michael Myers in it. So we're going to take a deep dive into the candy bowl with VHS Halloween.
I'll skin you alive, you little whore.
Anthologies aren't my thing, and I've said it loads of times on the show, and we've only done 2 anthologies before, and both anthologies I loved.
Which one was that? We did Body Bags?
Creep Show and Body Bags, and I absolutely loved them, but I'm not a big fan of little stories tied together with some bullshit in between, unless that bullshit in between is really good and links them together.
I get what you're saying. I'm the anthology guy. I've seen pretty much everything. I went through a weird phase a couple of years back where it was like all I was watching and hunting down every single one I could find. The reason being is because I find there's more freedom for creativity with an anthology series. One thing that I often say, especially when I was reviewing quite frequently, was certain stories that's expanded to an hour and 30 to 2 hours worth of horror movie would be a lot more impactful condensed down into an anthology. And I tend to find certain stories would work better in that smaller condensed capacity. And I found a lot of really interesting stuff through anthology movies that explore some really interesting ideas that, again, I don't think you could fully flesh out for a 90 minutes but to have such an ambiguous 10-15 minute segment and then it end there, I think bodes quite well, and I like that for that reason. But the thing with anthologies that you always find is if you get one that 50% of it is good, I think you're on for a winner, because 9 times out of 10 there's usually only 1 or 2 good stories in a 5 or 6 segment anthology.
Yeah, and I find it with most, like the 2 anthologies we covered are kind of the exceptions to the rule, because I enjoyed pretty much every single segment in those.
But even those, like even Body Bags, for instance, that's a 3-segment horror anthology. The first opening one is fantastic with the garage segment.
Yeah.
The second one with Stephen King with the plant thing, that's really, really cool as well. But the third one, Hair, I know, is it Hair?
Yeah, you've got
anthologies mixed up.
You've got Hair, and then you've got the Mark Hamill one where
You've got the Mark Hamill one. Yeah, sorry, the plant one's from Creepshow. Stephen King's a Creepshow one. Yeah, but then again, so you've got the 3 in Body Bags. The Mark Hamill one, that's really, really cool. But Hair in the middle is just really odd. It's a really odd one, and it always throws me every time I watch that movie.
Yeah, and stupidly, after watching The Substance and then looking at Hair, like it's the same story just with Hair.
I still need to see The Substance. People rave about it, but you know me, if somebody's raving about something, I tend to just leave it.
we'll get it in a poll for next year. We'll do the month of ones we missed again. I'm sure it'll win a poll.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the bit that ties it all together. This sort of soda advert, this sort of energy drink.
Energy drink.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I thought there was some really, really cool stuff in it. I liked the way it was shot in the whole grainy VHS aesthetic, and it being like archival footage of this research program. But it didn't go anywhere. Like every time it came in, I was like, it was growing and there was adding more to it. But then it got to the final segment, and it was just as if it was a middle segment. It was nothing new than what it had already showed us. It didn't tie anything together. So I waited till the end, thinking there'll be like a post-credit sequence that will finish off this sort of leftover, undeveloped bit. And then, it never came. But I think the problem for me is I haven't watched any of the VHS movies since the original. And I know they're coming out every single year now. They've been taken on by Shudder. You've got the 97, you've got VHS Beyond. They seem to be coming out at least every 1 or 2 years now at the moment with the, I think it's like the biggest property Shudder seems to be having. And I don't know. I don't know if the other movies are very similar or if this middle segment ties into any of those movies or if it's just one weird, crazy idea that they threw in the middle. But I found it very disappointing. I was curious by it and I was very in tune to it as it was going. But then when it did reach the end and that's all it was, I was like, that's kind of a bit disappointing.
The only things I really enjoyed in it is the fact that some of the bits in there are brutal. Like the killing of kids, like it's in this segment, but it's in every segment. But the kid in this that has a sip of the energy drink goes, "Oh, I want more," and the bloke's like, "Oh, the formula's not enough. Like, turn the formula up." And she takes a sip of the other formula and then just fully explodes, like
just all over the glass. Yeah, and the thing is, the practical effects in this are done. Considering how good the practical effects are throughout this movie, I found this intertwining segment to be really B-movie traumery. And I liked it for that. Don't get me wrong. I really liked it for that. But it was like really crappy makeup effects and CGI when the tentacles were coming out of the can, like it was made in somebody's basement. But yeah, it was just jarring. It was a really jarring, weird middle ground that didn't go anywhere and just left me feeling disappointed by the end, which was a shame because with this anthology, I found the consistency of the segments to be rather good, or at least consistently average. There was never any that I was like, that's bad. Like, get to the next one, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think the best way we can do this is literally do like each segment and just work our way through them. Opening segment, I'll be honest, this started on such a low for me. These 2 girls are like, "Let's go trick-or-treating. Ha ha ha, it's our last Halloween." I was like, fuck you 2. You're like 25. You're annoying me already. And then they're like trick-or-treating and then they end up at the house. The bit of the house, they knock on the door and no one answers. The bit where just the hand comes out and she's like, could you go? I was like, that is amazing. I would not have gone in. You 100. I sat there and I went, Mark would have died. Mark's going in.
Oh, I was 100% dead. I don't know if you picked up on this, but what I really liked about it was they do a good job of setting these characters up as being way too old to be trick-or-treating. I know that was something that annoyed you, but that was the purpose of it. It was the fact that they were too old to fuck about going around trick-or-treating. And the house that they do discover, this like too good to be true Twilight Zone appeared out of nowhere house, which looked fantastic, by the way, with all the pumpkins going up to it. They're the only people that seem to see it, because the family walk by with the little girl and they even have a conversation like, oh, I'm assuming that kid doesn't want any candy. And he's like, oh, well, that doesn't matter. There's more for us. And the two of them go running off towards the house. And I was like, as soon as they did that, I was like, you're the only people who can see this house. This is weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And when you get inside, it gets even weirder. The image of the guy behind us, like, what the fuck are these monsters? Like, I get it. They're feeding off the mama witch thing and their faces and eyes are bulging, but man, they're creepy. The practical effects work is really like off-putting. Like that, him in the baby outfit where he runs across the like corridor, goes, I was like, the fuck?
They all look like them garbage pail kids, man. It's fucking weird. And I think the cheerleader girl looked the best when they discovered the cheerleader girl, because apparently she went missing the year before on Halloween, and they find her in the house. That one who had the mask on that was getting pumped full of milk, that was awful. Like, she was just like constantly drowning in the oxygen tank of milk. But I think as a found footage segment, I'd like the pacing of it. I thought it was really well done, and I think they did some really cool techniques with the camera work, as in like the consistency of the camera. I mean, it's a very basic one. It's a case of they need the light from the camera to be able to see. But I did like how it was well put together. I thought the jump scares were very impactful, and the tension building that led towards those jump scares was really, really good. I think it was the overall, not silliness, because it's not silly, but it kind of is at the same time. Like, it was like giant babies, you know, and I was like, yeah, they're fucking weird, man, and my ass would fall out if I was in this situation, trust me. But it was just the juvenileness of it that kind of threw me off, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
It gave me a Deadstream from Temu vibe.
Yes, the silliness that is done in Deadstream, executed flawlessly, I might add, before anyone thinks I'm dissing on Deadstream. It tried to approach it with that way, with its subject matter of the babies. And I think the whole story is this. In fact, I didn't quite get the purpose of her killing herself. So this witch killed herself while she was pregnant, so her and the baby could live together forever in this weird witchy Twilight Zone Bermuda Triangle thing she's created. And then every year on Halloween, she takes in adopt someone new, which is basically children that are too old to go trick-or-treating, and she just kidnaps them, basically.
Kidnaps them and makes them suckle from one of her 8 nipples, which was the fucking weirdest thing ever, where she's running down the corridor and they're just spraying everywhere.
Yeah, man, it was like Barbarian on steroids. It was fucking nuts.
This segment wasn't for me. It wasn't dreadful, but like as an opener, I was quite hyped for this. And when he got to the bit where she's running down the corridor, she's spraying milk on the walls, and there's a bit where she sprays the camera, I'm like, I wanted so much more.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that I will say mainly about this particular VHS installment is I just think they completely got the order wrong. Because I wouldn't have minded this so much in the middle. But I just don't think it sets the tone off very well to start with.
No, and I think if you're going to do an anthology, you need to start strong and you need to end strong, and everything in the middle can be okay.
Yeah, you kind of need to peak, drift, peak, drift, peak. It's got to be that wave effect in order to hold engagement. I think the more experimental stuff needs to be in the middle somewhere. You can't just throw that in there immediately and expect to hold attention, because it's the first bits that have got to keep the audience engaged.
Yeah, I agree completely. You need to hook the audience, and the soda ad didn't hook me, and this one didn't hook me. And if it wasn't for the show, I'll be honest, I would have picked up and started doom scrolling at this point.
Yeah, and for me as well, knowing going in when I picked this, I was like, oh, it's an anthology, VHS. It'll be a 90-minute thing. I was like, we can just whiz through this tonight and just chill out and have a nice Halloween movie. And then I put it on. It was like 2 hours. I was like, oh fuck. And then it started with this, and I was like, oh fuck, 2 hours, man. Like this is going to be a long night as it is. This needs to get better. And I think it did.
It did. Yeah,
I think it
definitely did.
certainly did. But I just think this segment was misplaced as an opener to this.
Yeah, I really like. So the next segment is the foreign segment, the segment I had to read, which when it started, I was like, oh, why is there subtitles? Like I'm not in for a subtitled fucking segment in the middle of everything else not being subtitled. And then I was like, oh, I really like this. Like, this is shot really well. This really reminds me of Wreck. Like, that's where I went with it. And with that, I went to Google, and it was done by the director of Wreck. And I was like, do you know what? I'm in for this. I'm going to really give it my all of it my attention. I love this segment. I think it's so well put together. It's so scary and so simple as well. Such a simple premise. So you've got the guy who's being interviewed in the police station, and they keep going back to stock footage of like crime scene photographs of his friends that are torn out and blood everywhere. And he's going, I done it. And they're like, there's no way you could have done it. And they go, right, well, we're going to take you to the crime scene. You're going to fucking walk us through it because we don't believe you. And then he walks them through it. And as he's walking them through it, they're showing the footage that was shot on their cameras as this girl took them into this creepy room in this like old building. I thought it was so well put together. And the premise of that telephone, just this in a pitch is terrifying. It works so well for me.
I think for me, I kind of didn't get into this one straight away. I like the way that it was filmed, like an almost documentary style thing to start with, the way that it opened. But I don't know, I wasn't entirely clicking with it. I maybe weren't paying as much attention to the subtitles as I was, and this was maybe the one where I did maybe pick my phone up a bit in the opening. But it was when they got into the room, and he's reading the translation, and he translates it to "as so above below," and I was like, oh, okay, it's hell themed, right? Let's go. Now I'm in. As soon as I heard those words, I was like, right, focus. And it didn't disappoint. It was like you say, it was very basic in its overall premise. But the creativity of it, I think, really blew me away. Especially the segment when they fly up to the ceiling and he walks through the door downstairs, but then walks back in through the door upstairs and everything's upside down. I was like, that's just genius, man. That is so simple, yet so fucking clever.
Yeah, this one was really... This is one I think you could flesh out into a full movie.
I was definitely wanting to know more.
Yeah, like you could really flesh this out, give it a backstory, give all the characters a backstory, do the lead up into how they go to this house, then show the murders, get him arrested. Like, this is one you could really expand. And again, brutally violent. Like when it shows you, like when he goes and he's like, he fully shows you him reaching into someone's face and pulling their eye socket out. And even the bit where he starts vomiting the eyeballs that he's eaten.
From the previous people, that was fucking brilliant. I was like, oh, holy shit. Because I thought this was going to go in a different direction. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was just going to be some sort of weird killer. I should have known better. It's an anthology. You don't have the time to flesh out that kind of story. But I thought he was just going to be a bit more normal than he was, and he was just sort of losing his mind. And it turned out he just went on a rampage and did actually kill these kids. But then once you see the possession, especially on the flashback footage, I was like, oh shit, no, this is legitness. This is going to be fucking awesome. And then it does it again, and there's all these people like in there, these officers mocking him like it's just a fake phone, it's not real. And then they force him to read the basically the shit from the Evil Dead again, and he's like, coppers like, come on, keep going, keep reading it. And
then the phone rings, and every single copper in there goes, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, hold on a minute, mate. Apologies.
That's okay. Bear with us, folks.
Someone's at my front door.
Okay, we're going to pause. And we're back. And that is the first time in 5 years that anyone has knocked on your door and interrupted you. I need to know who knocked on your door.
Just a fucking neighbour, man. Like, I have my work van, but I like parked it around the corner because there was no spaces out front when I got in from work today. And he was just being courteous and polite and was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to Leeds for the weekend. You can park outside your house if you want, which is brilliant. But obviously I'm in here, which is separate from my house. My wife and the kids are in the house on their own. And I just see this big hulking Arnie man walking to my door in a vest. And I'm like, oh shit. And my wife starts ringing me immediately, and I'm like, oh shit, right, just hold on 1 minute, I better find out what's going on. But yeah, it was just a neighbour wanting me to just saying I can park my van closer to the house if it's necessary, which is not when I'm in here recording.
Which is fine. Like, it could have been a VHS segment. Like, it could have gone the other way. It could have been a home invader.
It was just weird. I just saw some big hulking man walking to the door. I was like, okay, what's going on? It's very late on a Friday for this. I'm pissed off now.
I could have sworn I didn't give that hulky man my number. How did he find me? Where were we? We were on,
We was talking about the second one, directed by the same guy who did Wreck. And we were just saying, I was saying anyway, I can't remember where we were now. When he starts spewing up the eyeballs as in order to like refresh himself for his new set of victims, I was like, oh, I just know this is going to end so badly for these people. But then when they all started levitating towards the ceiling and the camera pans up and there's a big pentagon, it is not a pentagram on the ceiling. I was like, oh, fuck, you guys are just so done for. But I really like the effects work in this one. I think it's incredibly well done. Seamlessly anyway.
Yeah, this is one that if you like Wreck, you will like this segment. I don't think it's a stretch to say that. It's literally the director took what he'd done in Wreck, applied it to a new story and went, let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. To be fair, considering how much of a big fan of Wreck I am, I should probably check out more of his work. Which one of Wreck was it? The original Wreck director? Because there's two of them that did that.
Yeah, the original Wreck director.
Yeah. No,
I didn't write down his name. It was early hours of the morning by the time I got to this point. So,
well, yeah, there's two of them that directed the original Wreck. So I don't know whether they're brothers or just friends.
Yeah, and then they took turns in,
and then they went off and separated and did three and four.
Yeah, which is why they're 3 and 4 are shit.
Shite.
Is segment 3 the one I think it is, the candy bowl?
I think so, but if it's not, it doesn't matter. I'm sure we'll cover all of them on this episode anyway.
Yeah, this is my favourite segment. I
knew you would like this one.
Like the two who, like, again, it's grown-ups going trick-or-treating, which I'm going to say now, if you get kids who are like 15, 16, 17 who knock on your door trick-or-treating and just want some candy, just give them some fucking candy. Don't be an arsehole. There's no need to do that. Like, they're not out taking drugs. They're not out stabbing each other. They're not out doing anything awful. They just want to have a little bit of childhood and get some candy and have a laugh. Give them some fucking candy.
Do you go trick-or-treating as a family?
No, we host many trick-or-treaters because I go silly on the front. Our house is like, because there's not many people who do it here. So we've got a big front lawn. So I do all of the front lawn with like fucking life-size Michael Myers and shit like that. So our house is like a beacon for trick-or-treaters. Like,
we have one of those down the road.
Yeah, it is great. Like, the kids dress up and like we'll open the door and the kids will do the candy, and it's good fun. I like it, and yeah, I'll have a horror movie on in the background. Kids will go to bed. Gets to about 9 o'clock, all the shit outside gets turned off, so people leave me alone, and then I go back-to-back horror movies till I fall asleep.
That is exactly how we do it here. And I'm excited for this year, this year's Halloween. It's going to be cool because Margot's a lot older now, so she's more aware. But even now, like, she never asked to go trick-or-treating. Her favorite element of it is all the kids coming to our house and her getting to hand out the sweets and stuff to them. Yeah. And like now I say she's just turned 5, so this year is going to be really, really fun. She's been planning her outfit since like January of what she wants to wear. We had her this full dragon costume, which we bought a couple of weeks back, and she's now changed her mind and she wants to be a witch. So fuck knows what I'm going to do with the dragon costume.
You're going to adapt it so it stitches onto the back of your clothes, and you're going to be a dragon.
I don't know. The thing is, she'll just wear it. She'll just wear it around the house at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, she keeps changing her mind on what she wants to be. So I should really just invest in a fancy dress wardrobe in the house so she can just pick whatever, whenever.
Yeah, Ocean had a fancy dress drawer for a long time, and like she'd come down on a Saturday, and she'd come down, she's Wonder Woman. Okay, fine, you're Wonder Woman. Then she'd go
upstairs now.
Yeah, she'll go upstairs at lunchtime, and she comes back downstairs. She's a Power Ranger. Oh, you've been in Jack's drawer.
We've been dealing with cats at the moment. Cat seems to be. She's got this thing about cat headbands. Do you know the headbands with like the cat ears on? She can get all different kinds. I think she picked up like a 3-pack from Primark. Ones that's just like silver. Ones that are like pink. Every day she's a cat, and like it's become a thing now where she has to pick her outfit depending on what color headband cat ears she wants to wear for that day. It takes forever to get out of the fucking house, man. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, you say that though. It's the same headache your wife has with you, where you have to make sure that your hat matches your top.
Now, I'm not too bad. The thing is, I have like 70 hats. As a bald man, I literally have like a full chest drawer of seasonal hats. Whether that, I'm happy we're in woolly hat season now. Just in case anybody hadn't noticed, I'd switched it up a gear. Yeah, I have multiple hats, like for any occasion. I have wedding hats. I have like Farmer Giles, Peaky Blinders hats, depending on what the situation. Like they'll be coming out soon for bonfire night and stuff like that. It's a thing, man. It's a thing. But hey, you have to adapt with these things.
You do. So you've got hats. I've got multiple jumpers because my heating's not been installed in my studio yet.
What keeps beeping, dude?
Nothing.
It's not me. I'm losing my mind. Something's beeping like the dishwasher's finished in your studio.
No, there's nothing in my studio but the computers and me.
Nah, it's freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out. It's like, I'll tell you when it comes again. If I listen back to this episode and I haven't heard at least 6 or 7 beeps by this point now, 27 minutes in, I'm going to lose my mind.
Right, okay. But yeah, I can't hear a beat. But yeah, this segment is great. And I love the fact that their costumes are cool. So you've got one girl's a superhero. I think one girl is actually a cat. And then you've got the couple, and they've done themselves up as victims in a found footage horror movie. And they've got like a chest cam and a head cam and arm cams. I'm like, that is such a creative way to have.
There you go. I just heard the beeping again.
There's nothing beeping in here. But do you want me to pause while you locate the beep?
No, because I think it's coming from you. I think it's coming from you. Like, this is freaking. I don't have any beepers in here.
Nor do I. There is nothing in here that beeps.
Right. Let's just keep going. If this episode comes out and there is no beeps, I swear I'm going to the doctor first thing Monday.
Yeah, I think you need to. But yeah, all of their found footage cameras, I think, is a really cool way of like being able to get all these different angles in the found footage. And they're trick-or-treating. They're going to different houses, and they get to one that's got a massive, big orange candy bowl. It's like, you must only take one. And he takes the chocolate bar. How much did you laugh when he pulled that chocolate out and it looked like a cock?
I laughed, but not because I thought it was funny, but just because I envisioned you sat there now chuckling to yourself. I was like, Scott's going to fucking love this.
I laughed. I was like, that's funny. And then when he bit into it and it was full of like marshmallow cream, it's all down his cheese. Oh my God, have I got it all? I thought this was really funny, but I did not see what coming at all.
No, you see, I kind of spoiled this a little bit for myself because I did see the trailer for this recently on social media when it first announced it was coming out. And this particular segment, not what comes after it, but this particular opening bit of this segment was a key highlight of the trailer where he sticks his hand into the popcorn bowl.
Yeah, and the hand grabs him and there's nothing underneath. Like, I thought that was brilliant. I love the fact that it yanks him in. What I didn't understand is why all of his friends, one at a time, grabbed the person in front of their ankles to try and save them and just let themselves be pulled in. Like, if I was trying to save you.
Well, they didn't. Only the first person. So the first person goes in and then the bloke tries to stop him and the two girls run away. And this is what made me laugh my ass off so much. Like, the bowl flies off the table and like basically goes over their head and takes them in as well. And I was like, that is fucking juvenile, man.
It's really childish. And like they wake up in this like warehouse, and it's a candy factory. And man, the two villains in this are fucking brilliant. I want to see a full slasher movie with these two. I think they're so good, especially the main one. Like he looks like his head looks like a gumball, and he's got a crown on. He's like, hey, I'm King Candy. Like he's fucking awesome.
I didn't like it, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it worked well with the overall silliness of the story. But I think aesthetically, the way the two of them looked was just a bit, I don't know, it was just like really overtly campy. Especially in terms of its humor as well. Like his little, what did he keep? It's like, hey, fun size. And it just kept freaking me out, man. I was like, it's not scary, it's just weird, you know, it's just odd, it's just really odd. And then they cut his arm off at one point, and all the Skittles just start fucking bursting out of it.
That when they chopped his hand off and he just turns into like a Skittle bazooka, I laughed a lot of that. I thought that was so good. And then his hand just like pops back out of the hole. I was like, yeah, you're cool.
So the first person who gets taken, they find him immediately in the next room, and he's strapped to a conveyor belt. And they pull him in, and it's just a fucking meat grinder to turn him into chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Awesome. The effects on it look fucking mega. And I don't know what happened with my brain between this and immediately the girl tried to throw herself into the machine because she was so terrified and she just wanted to end it. And then the next thing I know, she's got a vacuum cleaner up her ass, injecting her with Skittles, and her face blew off. And I was like, I literally just zoned out for 2 minutes, and this has just gone completely off the kill. I don't know what is going on.
So they try to escape down. So the girl and the man, or the two girls and the man, try to escape out of an air vent, and they go down the air vent. And once they get down,
but that was after. That was after. It was a blonde girl that I didn't get how she ended up with a pipe up her ass.
I'm not sure either. Like I watched this yesterday, but I'm not adverse to it. I thought it was a good kill.
I just don't know how it happened. I don't know. My brain just switched off for a minute. But she had a pipe up her ass. It was injecting her with like these Skittles, Smarties things, and then they just blew her face off. And then she just jumped into the conveyor belt and ended in the meat grinder. And then the other two tried to escape because they got the key.
Yeah.
Ended up in a shaft. The shaft turned out to be a conveyor belt. And then the whole story came full circle because at the beginning they had a conversation, the two girlfriends, and it was like, you need to break off with him. Like, this is only going to be more uncomfortable if you drag it out. Next thing you know, you'll be married. They're clearly engaged, this couple, and they're trapped in the conveyor belt. And he's like, oh, we're going to die and we're not even going to get married. And he starts saying his vows. It's like, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. And she's just looking at him like, what the fuck? And it gets to the end. He's like, do you take me to be your husband? And she's just like, I do not. And then he just gets grinded. And you think she's escaped, which was cool. I was like, oh, okay, right. So what's the moral of her ditching her boyfriend at the last minute? And it turns out there is no moral because Mr. Smarty Cherryhead pops out and just axes her in the face.
Yeah, I enjoyed this section because it was fun and it was silly. And like, you've given me, again, you are the inspiration for 90% of the content on at You Run Podcasts on Instagram, because I'm going to do the hose up the bum, the Skittles make her face explode, and then I'm just going to do
Taste the Rainbow.
Taste the Rainbow.
Excellent.
Yeah, so after this segment, I was on a pretty big high.
Yes.
And we go from this. What one do we go into next?
We go to the fourth segment, which is the VHS segment, which was my favorite.
Yes. So I like this segment, but man, is it dark.
It's extremely dark. And I know you touched upon it earlier, but one thing that really surprised me about this movie was how unequivocally afraid they were to kill and mutilate children. And nothing showcases it more than this segment here. It is literally the killing and torturing of children. And the thing is as well, like, even though some of the other segments were quite dark, they always had this light-hearted Halloween nature to them. nothing about this segment is Halloweeny other than the fact that it is set on Halloween night. And it's just fucking brutal, man.
Yeah, it is. Is there one bit in this where they deglove a child? Like
The
literally
deglove
rip
a
it-
child. They literally, a teenage boy's face is cut off and worn like Ed Gein as the killer's like in his face. He's begging for him to stop, and he keeps doing this intertwining thing where it shows. So basically, there is a video shop where the owner of the video shop, he's doing this Save the Kids campaign where all the children come in and they film themselves saying their name, a little bit about themselves. And I don't understand how this is a security measure for children by any means.
I'll talk about it more when we get to facts, because
Right, okay.
it's based on facts. And the idea is that if your child goes, so there's a lot of children that were going missing in the area. So they start doing this where you've got a video of your child giving information about themselves, stood in front of a height board, so you know how tall they are. So if your child goes missing, you can hand that to the police. It's instantly able to be put out into the world so everyone can recognize your child's voice, height.
Right.
Look,
okay, I get that now.
everything.
That would be shown on the news and they would be able to locate. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. For that reason, yeah, I kind of get it. But that didn't come across very well to me on the segment of the anthology.
He just come up like a creepy guy, didn't he? He's like, okay, now stand here and now. I felt sorry for the girl who wanted to go trick or treating, and her mum made her go and do this because before the video was. And he's like, well, it'll be a couple of days, and the mum's like, no, if I give you a little bit extra, can you get it done today? So if she goes out trick or treating tonight and gets kidnapped, like at least I'll have the video to give to the police in the morning. Like if that's your mentality that you're so concerned she's going to get kidnapped tonight, just don't let her out. Just say no.
No, exactly. But yeah, anyway, it goes on to be something very, very sinister. And again, I drifted off in the middle. They go to like a party thing, and then I don't really know much. I think I actually fell asleep for like 2 minutes. And then there's a conversation. I wake up at the point where the sheriff's there, and he's like, we need footage of this kid. This kid's gone missing. I don't know how long the party segment was in between or whether I missed anything vital, but I think I caught the key information by the time we got to the end. So he goes to the video store to pick up the tape of this particular victim and finds out that the lights are on and the TVs are on. And he's like, oh, fuck you, Max, for instance. You left the TVs on, blah, blah, blah. It turns out Max is the one who's kidnapping these kids. And this is where we see all this graphic footage of some of his past executions of what he's done to these children. And it's fucking maniacal, man. And this dude is just there, like, taking all this pleasure in this just honestly just brutal inflicting pain on these kids, and it shows it all in graphic detail, and I was so shocked by it. Like I was genuinely like shocked that they went as far as they did to show this on screen. There was just no punches pulled with this episode, this segment. It makes me sound really weird to be like, this was my favorite segment. And I think it was just due to the shocking nature of it and how surprised I was by it. Like I immediately sat up in my chair like, oh, fuck, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, and they pull no punches. They are brutal in everything they do. And what makes this worse is when they get to the end of this segment, the guy who is the awful, awful, awful person gets away scot-free, and he's like doing ads to get more kids in because now there's like the guy who's done it is like, you need to come in and have them done now. Like
I like the twist on that though. I did like the twist on that. So the guy who actually owns a video store goes in pissed off that his employees left the TV on. The employee attacks him, but because the kids haven't yet seen the guy who's doing its face, I think they have anyway. It's like, oh, they work together, they're in on it, and he kneecaps the guy struggling in pain, and the teenagers that he pulled the face off earlier, he puts on the boss. So when the kid comes around, his face is missing, finds it on this bloke, and he's like, oh, my face. And then the two of them are like, they're doing it together, let's get him. And then they just kill this innocent guy, and then he takes the fall for the full thing. He wipes out everybody in the room, so there's no evidence. The boss takes a fall. The employee who is the actual killer is there on the news saying how shocked and appalled he is to have this guy under his nose and not be aware of it. I was like, oh man, can you imagine in real life if that was the case with some killers. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
for instance, in the UK, we had Ian Huntley, didn't we? Who he killed those two girls in the bathtub, the caretaker of the school, and he went on live TV saying how appalled he was and putting out a plea for their safe return. And the whole time he was the one who did it.
Yeah, awful. But yeah, that is a very, very dark and very, very haunting segment. That again, after you've done the candy one, I wasn't expecting it to go so dark.
No. And again, I think that's what I was saying earlier about, I think the order was just completely wrong.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would have liked this shocker early on.
Yeah, this could have been the opening segment, without a doubt.
But then again, if I'd have had something so dark and then the candy bar one that came after had followed and stuff, I'd have been well disappointed that it wasn't as seriously toned as the first segment. But
yeah,
something was just off about the layout on this, and I can't put my finger on what it was.
Yeah, it was. And the final segment, I empathise with this kid so much. Not my dad! Like, his dad, like, it shows them, like, doing their Halloween setup when this kid is, like, I don't know, 7. And he's, like, filming it all, and he's obviously putting it on YouTube. He's like, this is my setup with my dad. I'm so proud, blah, 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 blah. And then it jumps forward, and you see the dad going, oh, we're going to be doing this today, and it's going to be this, and it's going to be that. And he pans around to his kid, and his kid's, like, 15, looking at him going, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. Like,
the casting on this is phenomenal, by the way, because I even went back and rewound it just to sort of be like, how weirdly alike do those two look? I don't know if in real life they were brothers. You might have that in fact. And that was his younger brother who did the opening, and then the older brother took over. But they look so similar. I was like, fuck, you genuinely look like you've aged to the right people.
Yeah, and like this segment of where he's like, oh, I need you to do this. I need you to help me set it up. And like, he's like, I don't want to. And then his mum goes and talks to him, and he comes and gets in the car, and his dad's like, oh, so you saw around to my way of thinking. He's like, no, Mum's just better at blackmail than you. I was like, oh, that's so cold. So cold.
But very relatable, very relatable. Even Margot's 5 years old, and already she's at a point where she's like not wanting to do things with me that she used to adore doing 2 years ago. You know, and I'm dreading the fact that when she gets to like 15, 16 and she doesn't idolize me the way she does now, and I'm just the annoying geeky dad.
Yeah, I am the nerdy horror dad that the boys are like our conversation, are you right? Yeah, I'm all right. Do you want to watch a movie? Nah,
geek stuff.
Yeah, do you fancy a horror? Like I said to them about watching a horror movie on Halloween. They're both like, nah, we're going to parties. Oh. Okay,
do you not get an invite?
Well, I don't think I don't want to be the 40-something-year-old guy at a party full of 18-year-olds. That in itself is a whole new level of weird that I'm not ready to. I'm not ready to go there. But yeah, this segment, I don't know. Like,
I liked it. I liked it just purely based on the fact that it was very Halloween themed.
It was very Halloween themed, but I have a question because, like you, I was nodding at this point. How did it go from them doing their haunt to everything was alive and everyone's trying to kill them? I remember the neighbour coming in and going, "Oh, this is shit," and like being a real dick about their haunt. But I don't know how it got from that to people being like fucking mutilated and separated from their limbs 10 minutes later.
So they go to, when he gets in the car with him after his mum's blackmailed him, they go to like this antique shop thing to try and find some more decorations for his new haunts. And there's a back room that says staff only on it, and he pulls the curtain back and goes in music. Anyway. And there's a vinyl record that's I don't know if this is a real thing as well, but apparently it's like a song from like the 60s or 70s that has like the screaming of actual children on it, and they used it in a Halloween track. I think it's a legit thing because this isn't the first movie that I've heard this referenced in. So he steals it. He steals it out the back staff room, and then as they go into the haunted house, he uses it in the presentation, unaware that it's going to cause the end of the world like it does. He uses it as like a theme and be like, oh, listen to the song. Rah, rah, rah. And then, that's when all the poltergeist shit just starts going off. And it looks fucking awesome, man. As soon as they run outside and you get the first death of the guy who's been a dick since he's been there, and the sheet comes over the top of him as a ghost sheet, like Bob from Halloween. and it just spins him up like one of those things that you dispensers on sinks. I don't know. We don't really have those here in the UK. It's more of an American thing.
Yeah, waste disposal.
Yeah, it just spins him up and just splatters blood over everybody. But it's the little mini ghosts that start coming in and attacking everybody, like something from Super Mario Bros. I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, I
really
really
cool.
liked it, and I like some of the way that they shot some of it. Like you see a lot of it from like people running, trying to get away. Like I like that. I also like just the randomness of like if you watch as they go through the shit that's going on to like the side that's not an important part of the scene. There's a bit where someone's running and then you see their legs taken out from behind them and they just get like fucking yanked back, but it's just on the corner of the screen. I'm like, that's really cool. You've put so much effort into adding just that pointless thing in the corner, but I've noticed it and I appreciate the fact that you've done that. I like the end of it. I really liked, but I don't know. This segment just felt a bit weak for me. It was a weak ending.
I don't know. I liked it. It reminded me a lot of the ending of Cabin in the Woods, where shit just goes full on batshit crazy, and you get the giant hand out the cabin at the end. It was a bit like that. I like the witch coming. The witch one was really, really cool, and I think that's where it really showcases the creativity behind the found footage element of the camera, as it just picks up on the wand and it's stabbing these children as it's going, and it flies up into the air, and then the camera just drops and falls on the ground outside the opening to the funhouse. And then the creature design from the front of the front house comes to life. I was like, that's cool. Really, really cool. It was almost like a big mashup of a Goosebumps, but an adult level. I was like, this was one segment I could have taken a full movie of. You know, I would have liked to have seen that expanded, but it was cool. It was cool going into all the different rooms within the fun house and each room having a different character that's come to life and started taking charge of the rooms. Like the one with the witch, I know we spoke about it at the end, but the one with the witch where she just kills that little girl in the bubble and she comes up popping out like a skeleton from Poltergeist. I was like, again, touche for killing the children. That's really brave.
And there's lots of like when you watch this, there's lots of little nods that you spot things and go, oh, that's like a season of the witch. Oh, that's like this. Oh, that's like that. And there's so many. At some point, someone will do a video where they go through and pick out all the Easter eggs. But every single segment, I was like, oh, that's a nod to that. Oh, that's a nod to that. And again, I like that because there's been effort put into doing that. Is there anything else you want to talk about before you do your recommended account?
No, not really. No, not that I'd need to before my roundup, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, let me give you a soundbite. You can have this one.
You guys going trick-or-treating?
I wish I was. I wish I was old enough to go trick-or-treating. So this week's recommended account is Trying It at Home. This is a really, really funny account. I don't know how much of this I can condone to everybody else, but it's basically a group of British lads. Think the in-betweeners, but slightly older, that are mimicking Jackass videos. So each day they're putting new videos.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you just for a second. This popped up. One of their videos popped up on my Reels feed today, and I followed them.
Bringing Jackass back like day 1 or day 12. Yeah. It is so fucking funny, man. Like, and I think for me, like being British as well, seeing these British lads do it, they have the proper Jackass theme to it, and they're replicating proper Jackass stunts that they've done throughout. It's just funny, and it's just reminiscent of an era where Jackass was just fucking legendary. Not so much the movies. People always talk about Jackass and it's like, oh yeah, Jackass 2, man, that's such a good movie. It's like, no, go back and watch like the original MTV series. That's when Jackass was amazing. Just a group of lads and a camcorder being dickheads. Yeah. And that's exactly what this Instagram account is. I don't know how long they'll manage to keep this going before it gets shut down by Instagram. I don't even know if they would be bothered enough to shut something like this down. But either way, I think they're really fun. And since I followed them like 3 or 4 days ago, the trajectory of their following has just skyrocketed. So they must have done something to get into everybody's... I heard that beeping again then.
I heard the beep then. It's your end.
Oh, no. It's 9 o'clock.
That's what's beeping.
No, dude. Like we've only been recording for 50 minutes. This is a retro Casio watch. This only goes off every hour. The beeping was different. It's a longer paced beeping, like a dishwasher finishing.
Okay.
But anyway, recommended account. Go and check them out. It's trying it at home. It's a lot of fun, and it's just stupid stuff.
Yeah, and let them know the You Run podcast sent you. I'll finish it off. You can't even be bothered to finish recommended account this
Dude,
week.
we've had a bit of time off. Give me a break.
We have.
This month, I'm going to be introducing you to our two newest members of the You Run Podcast Network. We have the Deadbeats podcast, hosted by Will and JT, a horror movie review podcast that is kind of unlike anything else you will see on the network, and you need to go and watch it to fully understand why. This show does deep dives into horror movies, does interviews with celebrities. This is a really cool horror podcast that doesn't quite fit the mould of your regular podcast, so you need to go and check them out. The other show that you absolutely have to go and listen to is the What the Fuck Are You Doing podcast. This show, hosted by Hearn Dizzle and E-Bitty, covers, well, everything. Music, games, TV, random thoughts that pop in their head, creative pursuits, you name it, they cover it. If it comes into their head, they say it. It's a wildly entertaining and hilariously funny show. So go and check out both of those shows and all the other shows of the You Run Podcast Network, and all you need to do is go to yourunpodcast.com. Anyway, I'm going to say back to the show now. Back to the show.
Thanks, Scott. I'm still not over Hearn Dizzle and E-Bitty. I just think that's so fucking cool, man.
It's also
do that.
You could be Marky B.
We can't, dude. We can't do that. I just don't feel like we're cool enough to pull it off. As much as I would love it, as much as I would love that shit, I think the window of opportunity has passed for both of us now.
Yeah, especially for me. Like if I started calling myself something like that at the age I am, people are just going to look at me and go, "You're not
Scotty
cool.
G."
Scotty G. Go and follow Mark's recommended account of the week, especially this week because I 100% know who they are, and I watched a video of them earlier loading Nerf bullets with like thumbtacks and then firing Nerf bullets at each other so they stuck in each other, and one of them got it right in the nipple, and I laughed out loud.
Yes, that was the one I'd seen. Very, very funny stuff. It was the one that really stood out to me is they chucked like a fucking ball out of like a 3-story building to try and hit him in the nuts, and it just whacked him straight in the face. Very juvenile stuff. Like if you're of a highbrow sort of caliber on your Instagram feed, this account is not for you.
I'm going to stop you there because there is nobody who's got a highbrow Instagram feed that has lasted 53 minutes of this episode. Nobody.
Very, very true.
Also, make sure you go to yourunpodcast.com where you can check out all the members of the You Run Podcast Network, get links to all of our socials as well. One of those socials is Instagram, where you'll find Mark. He is at VHS from the Crypts, where he shows the most impressive collection of videotapes that you're going to find anywhere, and VHS nerds will absolutely love it. Also, Reviews from the Crypt, where he shows reviews of movies and he gives his opinions on films that he doesn't review here. And it sounds like his headphones have broken. So his mic's turned off. It's all fallen apart. This is a prerequisite for what happens next week. We've pre-recorded next week, and next week is a fucking catastrophe.
I don't understand what's going on. My microphone is all lit up singing and dancing. I've got power, but I've lost audio.
Yeah, you're not on that mic anymore.
Am I not?
No, you're not. I will pause.
Just pause.
And we're back. That's twice in a week, which honestly, this is much better than next week's episode where literally the wheels fucking fall off and stay off for the full run time of that episode. So go and check out Mark's accounts at VHS from the Crypt and at Reviews from the Crypt. We're on Instagram too. We're at You Run Podcast. We're also that on every other platform you could possibly think of. If you want to support the show, you can. Go to patreon.com/You Run Podcast, where you get exclusive episodes, deep dive episodes, extra shows of not only this show, but true crime as well. It's a really cool place that's starting to grow now with quite a decent sized group of people and cool people as well. All the cool kids go there. So go there and do that. There is a free section as well where you get stuff too. If you can't support us because you don't have the money or you don't understand how to do something that's free, this next bit's probably not going to help you either. But to do the other things that are free, you can share the show with a friend. Review us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts, we really need some reviews because all of our old reviews have now expired. Like one of our posts, share something, send us an audio DM. Like, all these things help the show. They help us get bigger, they help us get better, and then you get a better show to listen to. Let's do some facts. Facts for this, because it's just come out and it's an anthology. Man, they are thin on the ground. I've got 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have literally 2, which is devastating. The first fact is the segment Ut Supra Sic Infra. One of the Halloween costumes is a fire chief's uniform, which is a reference to Wreck, because it's the same director. So he deliberately put a fire chief in there to go, "Hi, it's me."
Is it the same actor?
No,
Oh,
just the costume. This is the one that really interested me. So in the kid print section, where they're doing the videotapes of the children in case they go missing, Kid Print was a free service that was offered from Blockbuster Video in the 1990s. Participating stores had a kiosk that children stood in front of and showed their height, and then staff would use a VHS camera to record a short video of them giving basic information about themselves. Parents would then take this videotape and keep it for ID purposes in case their child went missing.
That's really, really cool. Like, the concept of it, when you're watching the movie, is very, very strange. Like, to me, I was like, why? Because when you look at it, and then he has them all lined up with all the different kids' names on, like Creep, like like a trophy room and Creep. I'm like, this is fucking weird, man. This is children. Why on earth would you even want that? Why would you even, as a parent, why would you want people? But I get it now. Now you've explained it, especially the reasoning behind it. It makes more sense. I feel like they should have done a better job in this segment of explaining what this actually was.
Yeah, I think they should have done as well. And the fact that Blockbuster actually offered it and it was a real thing, I thought that was really interesting. And also shows what a scary world we live in.
Terrifying, man. Terrifying. That we don't have time to dive into right now, though.
No, we really don't. We do have some voicemails, though. We've got quite a few this week. We're going to kick it off with... We'll kick it off with Chaz talking about House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, I think the cheerleader storyline would have been a better way to go with this House of a Thousand Corpses film instead of the Rainn Wilson and gang. I don't think there was much of a payoff. It just was basically if Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a weekly TV show, that's kind of what the House of a Thousand Corpses felt like. Whereas the cheerleaders, I think, would have been more cliche. And who knows, maybe there was a version of the script that had that in there. But I feel like that would have a bigger payoff with the sheriff.
I agree.
I disagree personally, because the cheerleader characters themselves, especially in that movie, are very vulnerable characters. And I felt like it would have, if you'd have gone down that generic teen jock cheerleader type character arc, I think it would have cheapened the characters of Captain Spaulding and everybody else at the house and stuff like that. Whereas they're a lot more of an imposing threat taking on the characters that they do within that movie. You know how it is with generic slashers and taking on preying teenagers and all the rest of it. The fact that it shows how easily this type of killers dispatch something that is somewhat as a generic challenge for most slasher movies was done purposefully. But again, that just shows my love for House of a Thousand Corpses, not necessarily my opinion on the movie's direction.
Is now a good time to say I've rewatched House of a Thousand Corpses on your demand.
Oh, okay, cool. And
would you like a revised score?
I don't know, dude. It's Halloween. If you're just going to shit all over it again, that'd really disappoint me.
Okay, revised score is a 3 out of 5.
Thank you. That's more deserving.
Yeah, it's still not great, but I enjoyed it more on a second watch.
Give it another try. Give it another try, and don't do it too much though. Don't, because it's no. Give it some time to breathe. Give it some time to breathe, and then go back and in fact, don't even touch it now until next Halloween.
I'll put a note in my diary on the next Halloween episode. I'll give you an update.
Yeah. Save it till next year, and then when it starts to get into spooky season again, give House of a Thousand Corpses another watch. I think I think the third time we'll be like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed it more the second time round. It's still not great, but it is better. Who else have we got? We have got this person.
Hey guys, I've just finished the Scream 2 episode. I was very shocked to see that neither of you really liked it at all. But it is one of my favourite franchises, mostly not because they're all like brilliant films, but it's the one franchise which every film brings me enjoyment in one way or another. I'm not going to argue with you though, because you made some very valid points. And it is quite funny that you talk about the comedic tone that like 2 and 3 took compared to 1, because that's the one thing I hate about the Evil Dead like original trilogy, is I love that the first one was so scary and then it took that silly turn. So it's quite funny hearing you say about this, because I never really thought about that. But yeah, great episode as always. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to say, but it's completely gone. Bye!
Well, I mean, all I'll say to that is, Beck, it's been a pleasure knowing you. It's been great having you on the show. But Heather is going to kill you. You do not attack Evil Dead. Not on her watch. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, we both learned our lesson. I didn't even attack it. I was being nice to it. We have another message.
Hey guys, so I'm listening to your Scream 2 episode and I'm literally only 25 minutes into it and already I need to say something. So I love Scream 2, I think it's a great movie, but weirdly a lot of your complaints about it I actually agree with. Love the Jada hate, honestly, I can't stand her and quite happy that she gets killed off in the first bit. But yeah, I kind of agree with Scott, the idea of CC being the opening kill and Sarah Michelle Gellar being that person, it kind of would continue with like, oh, someone massive at that time getting killed off. Like obviously around that time Buffy was going and she was extremely popular. But yeah, back to the rest of the episode now.
So I dived into this quite a lot with Jim after the episode came out, because he was like, dude, you're right, like what you were saying about it, I don't even remember if it was me or you who said it. He was like, oh, what you said about the Scream and CC and being the opening kill and then it being a really weird middle transition of her character not featured throughout anything else. He loves his Buffy stuff. He is a big fan of Scream 2 as well. And he had the DVD with like some of the extra scenes and things like that. And there was an alternate version of that opening segment with the movie club, which was what I was saying, was like, that's been reshot and been refilmed.
Yeah.
And it turns out it actually had. Like, we still have no evidence behind the fact that I think Cece's kill was the opening kill and they changed their mind. But we do now have evidence that that particular opening dialogue segment with Timothy Olyphant and everybody else talking movies and Cece being there was a reshoot. So I do still strongly believe that she was the opening kill.
Yeah.
Additional reshoots were made to add her in before the kill so they can use it later on in the movie.
Yeah, I think so as well. We got one more message before we dive into our new feature, which is not interactive.
Hi guys, just been listening to the Wrong Turn episode. No, me and Jay didn't conspire to get that in the poll, but I'm very glad it won. I know we both love the movie, so much so we're actually covering it in December, not the whole franchise, just the first one. But yeah, brilliant movie. I completely forgot that I had commented on the Caption the Image about titties, but I'm just about to talk about titties now, regarding the nipple talk that you had. Yeah, 90s, early 2000s were a lot of women on TV films and just in general, I don't think they really wore bras, and bras weren't really as good back then as they probably are now. And in women's fashion, a lot of tops, like in such a style that you can't really wear bras with them. So sometimes, you know, if it's a bit nippy outside, you know, just happens.
A bit nippy.
Perks of being a woman, or not, I guess. But yeah, that was my thoughts behind it. I can't say I noticed the girls' nipples in this one, but when we rewatch when we cover it, I'll probably just not be able to not see it now. Thanks.
You're welcome. The 90s, what a time. Fashion designers, like, rock back to the 90s.
It's coming back around, though, man. It's coming back around. It's I'll walk the high streets, man, and it's just Friends all over again.
Yeah, we're not far away from ill-fitting bras and crop tops you can't wear a bra with and nipples pointing out in the winter again.
Yeah, it's like a thing again. It's a fashion statement again to not wear a bra with an extra skin tight top.
Yeah, what time
I've noticed anyway.
Yeah,
oh, massively. Life is good.
No interactive feature this week, so in a change of our usual programming, we have a non-interactive feature, which isn't really a feature. It's not really a game either. It's it's a game called "What Did You Do Last Week?" And I'm going to start by saying to Mark, what did you do last week? Because you had a cool last weekend.
I did. It would have been much cooler if you were there with me. But last weekend I went to the For Love of Horror convention in Manchester, and it was awesome. It was really, really cool. I got to meet some awesome people. I met up with Horror Movie Maniacs, which was fucking fantastic. Me and those guys had an absolute blast on the night, drinking beer and just talking shit and watching the show that they'd put on for us there. I caught up with Jim and Adam. Again, big shout out to those guys. They were really cool. It was nice to meet up with them in real life. But I mean, Beck was the biggest trooper of the weekend, really. I spent a lot of time with her. Me and her went to go see Devon Sauer together. I got my Idol's Hands VHS type signed. And then she came back as my knight in shining armor on the night do. She wasn't supposed to come to the night do. She was going out with friends in Manchester for a meal, which she did. But then messaged me later on, and I was like, come back. It's really great. It wasn't. It was fairly quiet in comparison to what it usually was. But I misled her into thinking it was the best night of her life. So she came back anyway. She turned up on the night, and I got a free ride home. I didn't have to pay for a taxi. She took me home to my hotel, which was lovely. So thank you, Beck. It was a pleasure to catch up with you, and I appreciate your generosity of driving me back.
I also want to say I love the fact you went old school and you went and stayed in the hotel we stayed in the first time. A return to the Spread Eagle.
We did, yes. So obviously the first time we went, we left it very, very last minute to book our accommodation. And there was nowhere available to stay apart from this pub called the Spread Eagle in Manchester, which was diabolical. You had no lights or your toilet didn't work. I mean, my room was absolutely fine in all honesty, but you had a bit of a rough night with it.
Yeah, I had no lights, but I did have a TV that had Tremors 5 on it that I watched at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
This is very true. However, this year around, I don't know, it's been taken on under new management. The couple who got it this time, really, really cool couple of dudes. They were great. They'd done the place up. It was nice. And they put me up in which I think was like the best room. Because last time I stayed there, I had like a single fucking army camp bed in this tiny little box room. Whereas this time, I had like a double bed with a real nice bathroom, and it had like big bay windows looking out onto the main street. So yeah, I had a much better experience this time. But again, I left it last minute to book because Jim and Adam, pair of knobheads, were supposed to be like staying over as well and making a big night of it. And then at the last hurdle decided they were just going to drive and they weren't coming to the after party. But for me, it's quite a drive. And obviously I like to have a beer and I wanted to have a few beers during the day. So I was like, well, I'm definitely staying. But now it's like 2 weeks before and I've got nowhere to stay. We're going back to Old Faithful.
Yeah, and next year, well, shout out to the Spread Eagle. Next year, I will be there too. Maybe we'll go back to the Spread Eagle. It's got a pub downstairs. It can't be that bad.
Yeah. But it was cool, man. It wasn't the same without you, man. I'll be honest with you. It was a shame you weren't there this year because, again, the last couple of times we've done it, this was very early doors in the podcasting stage. You know, like we was like, oh, I don't know who we're going to see. But since then, we've had a lot more guests on, especially UK guests and stuff. That we've become quite pally with over the years. I mean, I only met up with a few people, as I say, people that I frequently talk with on my social media. I feel like you would have had a lot more people to spread yourself throughout the day with. Because I feel when it comes to the show, not many people know me unless they hear my voice, whereas a lot of the advertising and reels and stuff you do on Instagram is usually your face. So for you would have probably found it much harder to get around peacefully like I did.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to it. And then, like my week was was hijacked by my sister's wedding in Cyprus, which was lovely. I had a wonderful time. Me and Lisa had a holiday with no kids. Do you know what? Holiday with no kids is something I haven't done in so long. And oh man, being able to sit by a pool and like at 10 o'clock go, I'm gonna have a beer, and then drink until 2 and go, I'm a little bit tipsy. I'm gonna go up and lay. I'm gonna have a nap. Then I'm gonna come down and have some lunch. Then we're gonna get on it again. Then we do the entertainment. Like, it was a really, really nice week away. And then I come back, like the journey back was fucking horrific. So we were delayed by an hour coming out. We finally got through Gatwick. It's an hour and 40 minutes from my house to Gatwick. We left Gatwick at 10:30. I got in at 2:10.
And you was at work the next morning.
Yeah, alarm went off at 6.
Unlucky, man. To be fair, though, you messaged me like, oh, today's been a slog, man. First day back. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I don't care. You've done nothing but send me fucking beach pictures for 4 days. I was like, I hope your day's shit.
You genuinely did. One thing we done there that was really cool, that if anyone ever goes there, go to Tomb of the Kings.
That looks incredible.
Health and safety, not a thing. Like in this country, it all would have been roped off. Like there was a bit, there's a hole in the wall about 1 meter square. I said to Lisa, I wonder what's in there. She's like, well, you can't go in there. I can, there's no rope. So I climbed up on some rocks and went in this hole in a wall, like fucking 3.5 meters off the ground. And I've walked in and I've gone, oh, it's pretty fucking dark in here. Turned my torch on my phone and I'm on a slab, like a big stone slab about 1 meter wide. Either side of that slab is like a 40-foot drop just down to a dirt hole. And I'm like, well, I'm going to take some photos in here and then I'm going to slowly back out before I end up dead. And like, there's another bit we went down and it was the only bit that was barriered off. But what they had is they had like a wooden like gate, and the gate wasn't locked. They had no padlock on it. It just had a sign, please do not enter. These tunnels are currently being explored. And then there's just a long tunnel with side tunnels going off. I stood there for 10 minutes going, oh man, don't be Mark. Don't be Mark.
Do it.
And I had my hand on the gate. And as I had my hand on my gate, Lisa come down the steps. There's a sign there. I went, oh, there is. You're right. I'm sorry. And they're like scurried away. Had Lisa not been there, I would probably still be in a tomb at the bottom of Cyprus somewhere.
Dude, if we go there together, we will take the tunnel.
We will go and explore. We've seen ours above, so below.
Yeah, too right, man. I want to know. I need proof. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I would die quite happily knowing that I'd seen something. In that situation, if there was like, look, you can go on. If there was a left and a right, if there was a fork in the road, and there was like, look, you can go, but you'll die never knowing. You know, you'll just die in your sleep, and that'll be the end of you. Or this is going to be torturous as fuck for all eternity, but we have such sights to show you. I think I'd go.
Yeah, the stupid thing is, I think I'd follow you with the idea that you would be the sacrificial lamb and I would get out.
I think you'd follow me because you know I could save us. I feel like I would be the savior of the situation. I would be the action man of the group.
See, your hero complex is why you would die and I would survive.
Nah, man, nah.
You'd be like,
I think I could
do it. I'm going to make this big. It's a big jump. I'm going to make it, and you're going to jump and grab my hand. Now I'm going to like lift you up onto the ledge, and as you lift me up to the ledge, you'd fall and you go, "Remember me." Yeah. So that is what me and Mark done this week, which is part of the reason this episode is a little bit of a calamity and not what you were expecting. We do have another game that we've been playing for a very long time now, and I am going to tell the world right now, in 2 weeks' time, I am going to unveil the correct answer because someone has called in with the correct answer. I'm not doing it now. And the reason I'm not doing it now is because I'm going to give you all 2 weeks to try and guess what this is. So there are 5 clips from 5 movies. We know what 4 of them are. All you need to do is name the one remaining clip. So here's the clip.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.
we've had a guess this week. Someone's going to go for the full 5. Here we go.
Okay, then it's time to have a stab at this quiz. First one, Halloween Resurrection. Second one, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Third, Sleepaway Camp. Fourth, X. And fifth is Evil Dead 2013.
Dave has got 4 out of 5. The first clip is Halloween Resurrection. The second clip, unfortunately, is not Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Dave called me a nasty C word when he sent that in, because I went, you have to tune into the episode to find out if you're right. And he used a nasty C word on me. Number 3 is Sleepaway Camp. Number 4 is X. And number 5 is Evil Dead 2013. So I'm going to play the clip one more time. And all you're trying to do is work out what clip number 2 is.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit!
Move! Give me a break.
I don't know why I'm doing like the suspenseful thing now. I'll be honest with you all, guys. I caved. I needed to know. I messaged Scott. I was like, dude, I can't do it anymore. It's pissing me off. Just tell me the answers.
Yeah. But Dave, I've got to say,
He's really close.
he was really close. Really, really close.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Annoyingly, he'll get it. I just feel like Dave's going to get it, and that's going to piss me off, because if Dave gets it, I just feel like I'm going to suffer at that expense.
See, I think if Dave gets it, I think Dave's going to threaten making you do something horrible, like, I don't know, sing and dance like Jaws the musical. But I think he'll do is he'll probably use it to get one of the movies he's desperate to get on that he hasn't managed to get on yet. Like, he wants us to do The Greasy Strangler, and it's never won a poll.
I've always wanted to watch that, but it looks bleak as fuck, and I've never been in the right mood to do it.
It is bleak as fuck.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, that movie makes things like Wreck look like fucking The Wizard of Oz. It's depressing.
What, is it found footage?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I enjoyed The Greasy Strangler. It's yeah. Well, Dave will have the power if he gets it right. I'm going to round this up first. VHS films have never done it for me. I've watched a few, and they're not. I don't think they're great anthologies. I think people really like them because they are attached to the likes of Creepshow, and they want to feel that buzz of anthologies. Like, every single one of them's got a segment that I go, oh, that's really good. And then they seem to be surrounded by like subpar shit around it. And this one's no different for me. It's more misses than it is hits. Like, the first segment I wasn't overly keen on. The second segment I thought was good, but I was really annoyed that it was subtitled. I think had that been in English, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Third one I thought was great. Fourth one was good, but I wasn't as into it as you were. I thought it was a little bit dark and it didn't fit the tone of the stuff that had come before. And fifth one, I was kind of checked out by that point. And the intertwining bit of the
that was
Monster Energy drink was shocking. The overall tone fluctuates, which is probably my biggest problem. It's like, it's comedic, it's serious. It's comedic, it's serious. It's somewhere in between those two, and it just didn't land for me. It is okay, and it's worth a watch. Like, I wouldn't say don't go and watch this, but it was a swing and a miss for me. It's a 2 out of 5.
I think that's a fairly respectable score. I don't think... I'll just roll straight into mine. I don't think there's enough here to warrant a wow factor among people who are not fans of anthology movies. I think it stumbles very comfortably into the genre based on past experience of installments. And again, I haven't seen any of the other ones past the first movie. I thought the first movie was incredible. There's some really, really cool in segments in that. And this is my first trip towards the VHS franchise since that one. And I think I will. I think this movie has made me want to go back out of curiosity. I know like VHS From Beyond is like really sci-fi horror-esque. And then again, like VHS 94, obviously I'm assuming it's set in 94. So for that reason, I'll probably go back and check out a few of the later installments that they had. I think VHS 2 was like the last consecutive one before it fell off. It was like VHS 1, VHS 2, and then I think it died a death before Shudder picked it back up again. a few years back. But regarding my ability to compare it to what's come before it in the franchise at the moment, it's very limited. But I will say, as somebody who has a vast knowledge and experience on anthology movies, I didn't mind this. I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I'm very middle ground on my opinion on it. I think there's some really cool and unique elements within some of the stories that are told. But again, I don't think any of them were executed perfectly. I think what they present is intriguing enough to hold engagement. But every single one of the installments within this particular anthology always had something that held me back from being like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All the ideas and the directions that they were trying to take them in, I was fully on board with. I didn't think any of them were directly poorly directed or edited, or like they were all competently shot, introducing unique elements to every single one of them, all of which I've highlighted on this episode. But again, there's just something that felt very middling about it, which as an anthology fan is something that's quite impressive. As I mentioned earlier when we opened up the show, like 9 times out of 10, you'll watch an anthology and you'll pick out 2 out of 5, 6, 7 that you really like, and the rest are very, I kind of don't really care for that much. But there'll be that one particular one that was so enjoyable that it stands out, that makes your rewatch of it very tolerable.
Yeah.
Body perfect example on that. I think the first opening on Body Bags is flawless. The petrol station one is one of my all-time favorite sequences in horror. I watch Body Bags regularly, even though I don't particularly care too much for the other 2. And I just think the middling ground on this movie is more to the detriment of it than anything else, because not one particular one had stood out to me to be like, that was fucking wow. I mean, I know I glorified the VHS one, but I'm glorifying something on a consistent average, I'm not stood here now being like, that was one of the coolest and unique things I've ever seen, which I often do find to be the case when I watch anthology movies. There was one, I don't know if you've seen it, the ABCs of Death. Have you ever checked those out? Where it's like each segment is a letter of the alphabet and the segment corresponds to that particular letter. So it's A, B, C, and so forth. And each letter has a segment. There's the first movie. Each anthology segment's about 3 minutes long, obviously, because it's the letters of the alphabet and they have to fit it into an entire movie. But by the time they get to X, there's one called Xylophone. And I won't spoil it for you, and I won't spoil it for anybody else who hasn't seen it. But if you want to check that out, I would encourage you to go to YouTube if you don't want to watch the entirety of the movie. Because, again, that's like, how many letters in the alphabet? That's like common knowledge that I should know. I want to say 27.
I'm just going to let you call in. Let Mark know how many letters are in the alphabet.
You don't fucking know off the top of your head. But X being the one that's fucking awesome out of the entirety of it. And it's such a cool premise. And then every time I think of that movie, I know 80% of that movie is terrible. But there's that one segment that makes like, ABC's of Death's fucking awesome. And it's not. It's really not. There's just a couple of cool ones in there. And this particular movie, VHS Halloween, doesn't have that. There's not one of them that's made me be like, dude, you need to watch VHS Halloween because of this, this, and this, even though the rest of it around it's a bit shit. Stay, because once you get to this one, it's really cool. But consistently, it's all right. There's nothing great about it. There's nothing bad about it. It was just all right. So I'm gonna go at 2.5. I didn't hate the time I spent with it. It gave me that bug to want to go back and do a few more anthology movies, which I haven't done in a while, like Trick or Treat, Tales of Halloween, things like that. Like things that I usually dismiss around this time of year that I really shouldn't. So I'm probably going to go back and do a few more of those again. So I appreciate it for that reason, but it was very middling at best.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not great. That's it for this bonus Halloween episode. This is an extra episode. This is a freebie. Next week on Monday, which is in 4 days, you are going to get the start of Balls to the Wall November, where we dive into the worst movies that no other podcast is ever going to cover. throughout the entire month. Kicking things off with Sharknado 6 and our first official recording in the studio. It is riddled with technical issues. It is riddled with sound issues. It is riddled with me not knowing what we're doing or how we're doing it issues. It's riddled with Mark mocking me issues, pauses. Like, it is when I edited it back. So when I went in and started listening back to it, I almost got to the point where I was like, do you know what? I'm actually going to edit this properly. I'm going to mess around with it. I'm going to trim segments out. I'm going to tighten it up. And as I was about to do it, Lisa went, no, don't do that. Just let it go as it is, because that's what your show is now. If you fuck up, you get it. So next week, you get literally us at our absolute worst. And whether you find that hilarious, annoying, or infuriating, that's what you've got.
Dude, I just timestamped this at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Bang on.
Yes.
And there's beeping.
There's not.
I think it's you, because when you talk, dude, it's like your Morse code shit coming through every now and again.
Really?
I don't know. I'm saying it now so that instead of having to listen to the entirety of the episode, I'll be like 1 hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah,
check
so
that weird beep.
Again, cool. I'll listen in editing, so if there's a beep, I'm going to hear it. But if anyone else hears the beep, call in, or if Mark's just losing his mind, call in. And until
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Until next week, happy Halloween. Thank you so much for all the support you've given us this year and this month in particular. We've had a troubled month with banned episodes and all kinds of headache. And this month is the biggest listened to month of the year already. And we're only 3 episodes. By the time this comes out, it will be the biggest by miles. But when we're recording this, we've only got 2 episodes out. One has only been out for 2 days, and already this month has got double the amount of listeners of any other month of the year. So
excellent.
Huge thank you to all of you. But yeah, until next time, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
You want to die tonight?
Jokes you tell sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. Thank you for taking us on this chilling ride, when nightmares roll free and comedy collide. With your podcast we laugh and cringe, but your content is so good we can't help but binge. You run podcasts.
You guys going trick-or-treating?